Which is better, Novo Nordisk's Wegovy or Eli Lilly's Zepbound? We now have an answer. Eli Lilly recently released the results of their SURMOUNT-5 open-label clinical trial, which was designed to pit these medications head-to-head. I know, I'm a few weeks late, but brother's been kind of busy. The results of this trial were published in the New England Journal of Medicine back on May 11th. A little background, both Wegovy and Zepbound have an FDA indication for chronic weight management. They are both in a class of medications known as GLP-1 receptor agonists. Wegovy is a single agonist medication which mimics a naturally occurring hormone in the body known as glucagon-like peptide 1 or GLP-1 and activates the GLP-1 receptors in the body. Now, Zepbound is a dual agonist medication which, like Wegovy, mimics the GLP-1 hormone. However, it also mimics a naturally occurring hormone in the body known as gastric inhibitory polypeptide or GIP. While Zepbound is often referred to as a GLP-1 medication, it is actually mostly a GIP medication. It is what is known as an imbalanced dual agonist, with 5 times more GIP than GLP-1. It is because of this formulation, the addition of and being mostly GIP, that many believe that the side effects, things like nausea, constipation, diarrhea, and the like, are not as harsh on Zepbound as they are on Wegovy, at least according to those that have tried both. By extension, this formulation is also a key driver in the greater efficacy of Zepbound. To be clear, both medications are highly effective, and many, if not most, will find great success with either medication, especially when paired with the correct dietary plan and a strength and conditioning plan. Now on to the trial data. This was phase 3B of the SURMOUNT-5 clinical trial. It was a controlled clinical open label trial. Open label just means that the participants, as well as those conducting the research, were fully aware of which medication that the participant was receiving. In this case, it was either going to be semaglutide, which is Wegovy, or tirzepatide, which is Zepbound. No placebos involved here. There were 751 adult participants that were randomly assigned to one of these medications. The participants had to be obese and not have type 2 diabetes. The study lasted for a total of 72 weeks. Those on semaglutide were titrated up to the maximum tolerable doses of 1.7 milligrams or 2.4 milligrams, while those on tirzepatide were titrated up to the maximum tolerable doses of 10 milligrams or 15 milligrams. The tirzepatide group saw an average percentage of weight loss of 20.2%, while those on semaglutide saw an average percentage of weight loss of 13.7%. So those on tirzepatide showed a 47% greater loss than those that were on semaglutide. Additionally, those in the tirzepatide group saw their waist circumference decrease by an average of 7.2 inches, while those in the semaglutide group saw an average reduction of 5 inches. There was also a breakdown by secondary endpoints. 81.6% of those in the tirzepatide group and 60.5% in the semaglutide group saw a loss equal to or greater than 10%. 64.6% of those in the tirzepatide group and 40.1% in the semaglutide group saw a loss equal to or greater than 15%. 48.4% of those in the tirzepatide group and 27.3% in the semaglutide group saw a loss equal to or greater than 20%. And lastly, 31.6% of those in the tirzepatide group and 16.1% in the semaglutide group saw a loss equal to or greater than 25%. Again, you will find success with either medication, but tirzepatide is shown to be a superior product. Now, Novo Nordisk is going through clinical trials to bring a 7.2 milligram dose of semaglutide or Wegovy to market, and that dose is showing similar results to tirzepatide, greater than 20% loss. Not rest on their laurels, Eli Lilly is reportedly working on a 20 milligram and a 25 milligram dose of tirzepatide. These higher doses may be the breakthrough that many that have had slower responses to the current dosing need to get the results that they are seeking. Now, with tirzepatide having a clear edge with the currently available doses, I must ask, why is Novo Nordisk selling Wegovy at the cash pay price that Eli Lilly is selling Zepbound at, $499? I think both companies need to drop the prices, but Wegovy should not be at the same price point as Zepbound.